Hi, I'm Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are Two Paper Girls.
As you can see from the title and thumbnail, we're doing our spring semester reading list, and you might be thinking, it's February, why are you talking about spring? But that's just what they call it at uni. It's autumn is like September to Christmas, and then Christmas to Easter is spring, and then after that it's summer semester, where we don't really have modules, it's all just exams and things. But anyway, we're in third year and this is our last semester of university. So we've done quite a few of these now, so we thought it would be good to just talk about the last books we're going to have to read for our degree.
This is quite heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So the first module that we're going to talk about, because by chance, we've gone to the same secondary school, we've gone to the same uni, we live in the same house, we do the same course, and now we've picked the same 3 modules in our last term of university.
We are the same person,
pretty
basically.
much. And one of them is, like last year, we had romanticism, but this time it's called The South and the World.
I don't think it was called Talking Horses last term.
Yeah.
We called it romanticism because Talking Horses.
Was it like a Gulliver's Travels reference? But this year it's The South and the World in the long 18th century, and it's all about 1700s books and Pope and Milton.
So that includes some early authors who were quite like satirical and things, like Pope and Swift, that talked a lot about politics, as well as the romantics at the end of the period who wrote a lot about nature, and the Lake Districts. This module is split into 2. We have all our lectures and seminars with one guy who focuses on the like more satirical other stuff. I'm not really sure how to define it. And then the second half is romanticism, which is like the specific like Lake District lovers people.
We're kicking off the semester with Paradise Lost, which we're doing for about 6 weeks. We're doing each book each week in seminars and lectures, and we're just going through books and poems and writings that have reflected this throughout the first bit of the 18th century, which is going to be great because this is like the base text, which is why our lecturer loves it so much. He proper digs Milton. So this is going to be quite exciting, really.
And then we're doing some like Swift and Pope poetry that relates to the Paradise Lost somehow. I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch. But also we are doing Frankenstein, which has a very like definite link to Paradise Lost because it's referenced in this book. Because the creature feels a bit like Satan. He feels like persecuted based on his like class in society, and like his creator, his god, has like gone against him, which is a big theme in both books. So it'll be nice because we've both read Frankenstein for A-level and we know it inside out, but when we read it we never read Paradise Lost. We were told by our teachers like what it was roughly about, but it'll be nice to read this after having done Paradise Lost for a lot of weeks and like really getting all the Milton references and all the Paradise Lost references, and that'll be like a new take on it, so that's going to be really good.
The next thing we have to read is a big poem called Rasselas by Samuel Johnson. I don't even know if I've said that right. I don't even know what it's about. No. All that I know is that the audiobook is 5 hours long, so it's not exactly
and on
a poem.
YouTube, so it's like 100 pages of something that probably relates to Paradise Lost. And then we move on to the romanticism part, which is full of lots of different things, some poems and some books. One of the books being Emma by Jane Austen, which you might have seen in the January wrap-up when Amy talked about it, 'cause she read it a bit early, even though we're doing it at the end of March. She's ahead of the game. But yeah, you've probably heard of this. It's by Jane Austen, and it's the typical kind of like romance, courtship, class, money, all that kind of thing, but everyone says that Emma is a not very likeable character and a lot more like feisty compared to the other Jane Austen protagonists. Amy wasn't a massive fan of Emma. I haven't read it yet, so I don't have any opinions yet, but I'm interested to see, because I've heard that Jane Austen is technically in that romantic period, but I never think of her that way. I always think of like Wordsworth and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see the link there.
And next we've got to read a book called Adeline Mowbray by someone who I have no idea who. This is like towards like March, like middle of March, so that this is quite a while away. I don't know what this is about either.
No. Oh god, I forgot how heavy this is. This is the Duncan Wu anthology of romanticism, the 4th edition, which we bought last year when we did romanticism, and is making a nice reappearance this year, which is nice because we already own it and have it, so we don't have to buy any expensive textbooks this time around. But yeah, this is so heavy and so long, but actually really, really helpful because you can just, if you want like a creative essay idea, this has like essays and like letters from the time and poems, so you can just kind of flick through this, pick a random person, coursework. So this is going to be making a frequent appearance, but it won't be in like wrap-ups and stuff because we're just going to like dabble through this throughout the module.
Our next module is called Making Something Happen, 20th Century Poetry and Politics. So basically we're just doing all the poems in like 1900s, focusing on like the war, poetry, like everything that's going wrong, like identity, like all the changing things that are just really quite relevant today actually.
In this module it's laid out so we do a poet or two a week, so I know we're starting off with Yeats and we also do like T.S. Eliot. And there's lots of people who have like heard the name of and never really read before. But we also have the Poetry Handbook, which is a lot of criticism, which we'll be like dabbling in and out of, which I haven't actually bought, but Amy has, so I can just steal it. But yeah, this is going to be like a bit of criticism ongoing, but also yeah, this module won't feature on like wrap-ups and TBRs because it's just going to be random poems by random people.
This is actually something that I'm quite happy I've bought, but that no one else is going to because it's literally costs about 50 quid. And I managed to get it for 25 by using a voucher that Laura's parents kindly got me for Christmas, and also finding a really cheap one off the internet. But I'm happy it's coming in a box set, and basically we're looking at modern and contemporary. Modern being like the first kind of early 1900s, and contemporary getting more towards the 20th century, nearing that end. And it's going to be so good. It's got all the poets in here that we need. It's got even more poets so we could be adventurous if we like. I don't even know how this module is going to work in terms of creativity. But there's so much to dabble in with the actual poets that we're given. I don't see why I would want to branch out very much, but we've got a 60%, 40% weighting with little essays all throughout the term, and then one big essay at the end. It's good though. Still, we don't have 100% 3,500 at the end.
Like we do for romanticism. And D.H. Lawrence, which we'll come to now. So the last 20 credit module that we are doing this term, semester, year thing is D.H. Lawrence, which is a single author study, so you could pick D.H. Lawrence, Virginia Woolf or James Joyce if you wanted to do this module. And we, us two and our friend Kim, all went for D.H. Lawrence because the lecturer is just like super passionate. He loves D.H. Lawrence, and D.H. Lawrence is from Nottingham, and he's just like a super specialist in it, and we've had like bits of D.H. Lawrence in first year and stuff that we really enjoyed. So for this module we are doing a book every few weeks. We do it for 2 weeks. We've got Sons and Lovers, then we have a short story break, then we do The Rainbow, then I think we have another short story break, then Women in Love, then a poem break, and then Lady Chatterley's Lover, which is probably like the most famous one that I reckon people will have heard of because it's all scandalous and banned books and stuff like that.
We thought we'd keep that pretty short and sweet. I was just thinking that, oh, this is so perfect. I got a lovely weighting. Realised that I've got like 80 credits to get this term, and I've only done 40. But that's going to be okay. I know 60. 2, 4, 6. I know 80.
Yeah, we were a bit nervous going into them because we just had all this assessment and stuff, and we were like, oh, I don't want more modules and more uni. But we've had like one day of lecture and we're like, whoa, super motivated, like we love uni again. So there will be an obvious dip in a few weeks when we get tired of everything. But at the minute we're feeling very positive, and the assessments are a lot more nicely spaced out this time. We have some weeks after Easter to actually work on them. So it'll be good. And
Third year privilege.
And we will update you, like not specifically update you, but we'll kind of mention how we're doing in all the rest of our videos.
It's weird to think that this is the last one we'll do before we have our graduation video, which I kind of want to vlog because that would be quite cute. But yeah, if you're at uni, let us know what books you're studying. If you're at school, let us know because we would love some light relief actually to see what you're studying in schools nowadays, because we did have Mice and Men so I will stop rambling and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.